All right, welcome back to another video. My name is Ian Major. I'm an entrepreneur, investor, and all-around raging capitalist. And in today's video, I'm doing an introduction into the Wasabi Wallet. The way I'm going to do this is across two different videos. So in today's video, I'll kind of go through the setup, installation, how to generate a wallet, and kind of a high-level tour. And then in the next video, we'll go through some of the additional functionality, namely around their built-in CoinJoin technology, which is super exciting. And so why are we doing this? Wasabi, I think, is a very exciting software that embeds a lot of really key benefits around privacy. And so they're fully open source, non-custodial, so you own your keys, privacy-focused Bitcoin wallet. It's a hot wallet, so it's on your computer. Right now it's not on mobile for security reasons, but as you'll see in the in their website, they articulate a couple different benefits. As we get into this, by the way, it's super important that you're using the exact website, which I will link in the description down below. It's wasabiwallet.io, wasabiwallet.io. Don't go anywhere else. There's bad actors out there for sure, and so be really careful with all of this. But in any case, the couple of key benefits, they cite built-in CoinJoins. This is super exciting. A CoinJoin, as I've alluded to in prior videos, is essentially a mechanism by which to obfuscate who owns what coins. And so how this works is multiple participants will contribute inputs or their kind of unspent coins, right, from a wallet into this overall transaction, which sort of mixes everything together and makes it extremely difficult to understand who the sort of lineage of those coins going back. And this is really important because this helps solve for the lack of perfect fungibility with Bitcoin. And that may seem odd to you. So fungibility is essentially that one Bitcoin is the exact same as another Bitcoin. And this is a key property of money, right? And while this is true from a kind of technology implementation standpoint, it's not necessarily true from a sort of societal standpoint. What do I mean by that? Let's say there's two Bitcoin out there. One Bitcoin came all the way from Bob, 100 transactions ago, where Bob actually used it for some illegal activity, right? And so that's passed from hand to hand to hand to hand, and now it's with me. Versus this other coin from Alice, which 100 transactions ago, it's clean, right? So you have this kind of dirty Bitcoin as defined by some versus this clean Bitcoin. And so for some, they're going to naturally value one of those more than the other. So there's not this kind of perfect fungibility with Bitcoin, at least at this kind of societal layer. So CoinJoins are super important for that. There's also, as you can see, Tor integrated, which is very nice. Again, this is all just kind of overall privacy enhancing, beyond the fungibility question. I think a lot of us just want privacy, right? I mean, privacy is a fundamental tenet and foundational pillar of freedom. And so, we don't want folks tracking everything that we do with our hard-earned money. The other benefit is around coin control features. This is really nice. So basically, you'll often hear UTXO, which stands for unspent transaction output. And this is essentially how Bitcoin accounting works. So whenever I execute a transaction, that transaction is inclusive of inputs, so the coins that I put in, and then there is an output to whatever wallet address I'm sending those coins to. And that output then becomes an unspent transaction output. And then that UTXO becomes the input for another transaction and so on. And so back to this fungibility piece, what's really nice about Wasabi is that they allow you to label each and every kind of inbound set of coins in a way that allows you to maybe label it for who it was from, or just other context that will help you control not just your overall wallet balance, but the individual UTXOs within that, which is another very powerful feature. And then ultimately, as I mentioned, it's free and open source. So there's a lot of really exciting pieces to this. Let's go ahead and jump right in, starting with the installation and setup. All right, so here's our starting point. You'll first go to wasabiwallet.io. As I mentioned in the outset, super important that you get this right. Don't go to anything other than this, wasabiwallet.io. And what we want to do is go to the download now link. And you'll see there's a couple different operating systems. You've got it for Mac, Windows, Linux, etc. And so we'll just go ahead and click the link here. And you'll see that the downloader file is currently downloading. Now, as that goes, the other thing that we want to do is to also download this signature. And what this is going to help us do is to verify the kind of veracity of the software that we're downloading. Now, you may say, wow, that seems pretty extreme. We've triple checked that we're on the right website, etc. But it's a good habit to still manually verify the veracity of these different kind of software wallets that we are working with. And so what we're going to do is go ahead and hit the signature link. And that will kick off another download, and it will be this .asc file. So we can now go over to our downloads and just see the two files that we just downloaded. So first we've got that signature file. And so if I right click and say properties, you can see that it's this .asc file. And then we've got the installer package as well. Now, before we double click this and run through the installation, we want to first verify that this is indeed from Wasabi and it's indeed the right software that we want to be installing. And this is just to triply ensure that this is the kind of correct version and not something else. And so to do that, what we're going to need is one more piece of software. So bear with me. We'll go to the following URL. So gpg4win.org /download. Again, I'll put this in the description. And you can download right here. Pretty simple set of installation steps. I'm not going to go through that. I'll let you do that on your own, as I've already got this fully downloaded. But this is essentially to allow us to work with encryption keys on our computer. So go ahead and do that. All right, now final ingredient. What we'll do is go to this page. And so you can navigate to this using the link that I provide below, docs.wasabiwallet.io using Wasabi, and it's got this whole kind of slew of information. It's actually really useful. Again, I'll link this in the description down below. But basically what you want to do is just scroll down and you'll see this. So although there is automatic signature verification on Windows and Mac OS, so that is good to know, it is still recommended to manually verify PGP signatures of the downloaded package with zkSNACKs PGP public key. And so this is what we're doing, right? And so this is the final ingredient to our verification process. And so you'll see this kind of long alphanumeric string. So what you can do is click on this, and it'll pull up this view in GitHub. What you can do from here is just hit raw, and that's just going to take us to this kind of gigantic, block of alphanumeric text. And so you can do a couple things. You can, kind of highlight all of this, copy and paste it over to a text file, or if you're using Chrome, you can just go to More Tools, and then say Save Page As, and that will allow you to do the kind of exact same thing. And so, let's just say PGP, we can go ahead and save it. I've already done it, so I'm going to click No. But it's as simple as that. You basically just want to save this as a a text file. So in summary, what have we gathered? We've gathered the installer for Wasabi Wallet. We've snagged the signature file. And so again, those should look like these in your downloads. We've also grabbed ourselves GPG4Win, and that includes Cleopatra, which we will use next. And then finally, we have grabbed the public key for zkSNACKs. I'm not going to go through the kind of mechanics of how this encryption verification works, but we'll leave some kind of references in the documentation and description in case you want to learn more. So from here, you'll now want to open up Cleopatra. And this has been installed as part of your installation of GPG4Win. And when you open it up, it should look like this. I've already got a couple rows here, so you should basically just see an empty version of this. So the first step is to create your own sort of key here so that you can verify others. And so the way to do that is to go to File, New Key Pair, and then you'll say Create a Personal Open PGP Key Pair. And then all you have to do is, put in a little bit of information. It'll ask you for a password, and then that's really it. I've already got mine created, and so I'm not going to create another one. But once you're done with that, you should essentially just have this sort of row here for yourself. Now, next, we want to import zkSNACKs' key. And so the way to do that is by going to this import link. And what we actually want to do is switch this to any files. And recall that we had basically saved it as this kind of PGP text document. And so I'll go ahead and hit open. And so what you'll then need to do is essentially verify this key. And so what you'll see are a couple options that come up. It says, recommend that you call this individual, that you, use a business card, or, verify through a trusted website. And so you'll do the trusted website. And basically what you'll see are a series of alphanumeric characters that you can then compare against the public key that we found here. And so again, all these links will be in the description. I'll kind of clearly mark them, but you're basically looking to compare, 6FB3, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, 861E to what you see on the screen in Cleopatra. And once you have indeed verified that that is all true, you can see this key ID here, you can go ahead and verify. And so the last thing you want to do is now use that verified key to confirm the validity of the installer itself. And so to do that, we're going to go to decrypt and verify. And then what you'll do is you'll find the OpenPGP file that we downloaded at the very start as part of the installer. So here's the installer, here's the other file that we, the signature that we had downloaded. And so we'll click this and say open. And so it's now going to use zkSNACKs signature to cryptographically verify that this installer is indeed what we expect it to be. And so if you see this green, that is good. That means success. So verified the file, valid signature, the signature is valid and the certificate's validity is fully trusted. So we can hit OK, and you're done. So again, that probably felt like a lot if it's the first time you're doing it, but it's really important to ensure that we're verifying the veracity of anything that we're using and not just kind of blindly trusting what we do. Now we can go ahead and actually install Wasabi. So you can go ahead and run this installer package, and it'll just have a couple prompts for you to click through. And then once you've done that, you should see an interface that looks like this. And so this is the Wasabi Wallet interface. You'll see it's pretty simple for what is a pretty kind of sophisticated software that allows us to do a lot of really cool things. And so I'll orient you quickly to the different sections. You'll see these main menus over on the left. So generate wallet is what we're going to focus on here. You can also recover a wallet. So if you've created a Wasabi wallet previously, you can recover it using its name, password, and the recovery key. You can load different wallets that you may have created in order to then send and receive Bitcoin. You can test passwords, and then you can connect a hardware wallet. And so in a future video, I'll actually show you how to do this with your cold card, but it can also operate with other hardware wallets. So to keep it simple for today and for the remainder of this video, all we really want to do is go ahead and generate a wallet. And so, this is giving us a friendly reminder. You cannot recover your wallet without your password. Therefore, we strongly advise you to use a password you will not forget. And so, you can name this something more intuitive. If this is the first time you're in here, it'll probably be wallet 0 as opposed to wallet 1. I've already, got one created. And then you can choose a password. So I'll choose something here. Go ahead and hit next. And now it will show the recovery words. So it's 12 recovery words. And so what you want to do is write these down and write down your password. And do not lose those, because again, to recover your Wasabi wallet, you need both your 12 recovery words and your password. Once you've written everything down, you can say, I have written down my password and recovery words, and go ahead and hit generate wallet. All right, so it should say success while it was generated. So that's great. And, you can test its password. So for example, I'll put in the password I just created, and I'll hit load wallet. Voila, correct password. Okay, that's great. So once you're in your wallet, you can kind of see your wallets over to the right. So this is kind of your wallet explorer. And so we can see a number of things, right? We can see how we would receive Bitcoin. And so this is the labeling that I was talking about earlier. Check out Wasabi's documentation on this. It's very good, best practices around how you should be labeling this. And basically, this will allow you to generate a unique receive address for every inbound transaction. And so again, this allows you to have better coin control of your UTXOs, which is very nice. But it's really as simple as that. And so let's just say, test 1, generate receive address. And so I've got the address here. And if I open it up, you can also see I get a QR code. I can also send any Bitcoin that I may have. So I, of course, don't have any Bitcoin yet in my wallet. But you can see here's where you would come and input the address, the label, and the amount. And then also you have control over fees. So you can elect to do a more aggressive fee if you want it to be sent sooner versus a much lower fee if you're not in any rush. And then you would put your password in to actually execute the transaction. And then you'll also see CoinJoin. And so this will be the subject of our next video. We'll go into detail on how CoinJoin works. And with that, we'll go ahead and leave this walkthrough here for now. All right, so there you have it. Just as a quick recap, we went through the installation and PGP verification for Wasabi. If that was your first time ever doing that, that probably felt like a lot, but it's important, and it's good to get into the habit of verifying and not trusting, right? That's kind of the whole mantra of Bitcoin. don't trust, verify. We then saw the overall kind of tour of Wasabi, how to generate your wallet, and kind of where different things were within the software. In the next video, as I mentioned, we'll go deeper into the CoinJoin functionality, which is a huge deal as part of Wasabi, and we'll comment on a couple other parts of the software. So I hope you found this useful. We'll go ahead and leave this here for now. If you like this, be sure to give this a like, subscribe. There's gonna be a lot more content, including the continuation of this video and many other how-tos and other topics and themes around the Bitcoin universe. And with that, we'll leave it there for now. Until next time, every sack counts. I'll see you then.